welcome to Studio Nicole. I am Nicole, and I'm so glad that you're here today. I'm still trying to get caught up on my 100 days of art journaling techniques. I started the 100-day project with, high hopes, as many of us do, and it has been difficult to keep up, even though I'm doing 5 days at a time. It's still been hard just because I'm doing a bunch of other projects at the same time. So I'm not being creative. I promise you that. There's plenty of creating happening, as the state of my studio will attest. It's just not all happening in this project right now. So, I'm giving myself a pass. Totally fine. I've been keeping notes on this scrap of paper. Before I film, I go through and I try to figure out which ones of each technique that I want to use and how they'll sort of work together. And I kind of gather a few supplies. So it's a little bit more streamlined than my usual, like, let's just see where this goes kind of video. I'm going to start with a bubble wrap let me find my pen. On the background techniques page, I'm going to use number 10, the technique of bubble wrap printing. And I already know that I want to kind of create like a garden like with some flowers. I'm going to do a little bit of blind contour drawing. I was inspired by a recent art journaling workshop that I taught locally. And so I want to do a little bit of that. And so I'm going to create like a sky is my thinking. I grabbed a couple of light blues and I grabbed a white and I have some bubble wrap. I don't really have a plan for how I'm going to do this. I love bubble wrap printing. I love how it looks, but I've never tried to do an entire background with just bubble wrap. So we'll see how that goes. My thinking is that I'm going to just layer different colors, like the two different blues and the white. I'm going to just like build the layers up. So we'll see how that goes. I do need a brayer. Ugh, my brayer is busy. Dirty. That's the word. Messy. Ha! Words. It's not like I'm an English teacher or anything. All right, so I'm using just a book, an old book, as like a paint palette, and I'm gonna I don't want to pop the bubbles. I'm just gonna print this onto my page. It's very light. Maybe I should start with like a darker color in the background. And then build up the lighter. That seems like it would make more sense, doesn't it? But, you live and learn. What can I say? Do I have a dark blue within reaching distance? That's a very dark blue. This is like turquoise. Oh, it's very dark too, also. Let's just see what we get. So I will tell you, I kind of did something a little bit funny as I was preparing for this video. I obviously I didn't want to use like a big whole sheet of bubble wrap, so I just cut like a piece of it, right? And I had a bigger, like it was a piece of bubble wrap, but it had like bigger pieces. And I thought that would be a neat contrast to do some with the smaller dots and some with the larger dots. And so I tried to cut a piece of that. And I didn't realize when I cut it that it was all connected, like all of the interior spaces all connected. So when I cut the piece off, the whole thing just deflated. And I lost all of the bubbles. I had to throw it away. So yeah, be careful with that. If you cut a piece of bubble wrap up, make sure that it's the kind of bubble wrap you can cut. Because otherwise, you'll be sad throwing away your bubble wrap that you had saved. Womp womp. All right, I'm going to try and get the edge. Oh, I don't want to get everywhere, but I suspect I'm going to get paint everywhere anyway. Trying to get inside the edge here. And here. All right, I will say this is a slow process. I mean, it's kind of given me like a neat background look, but it's definitely a slow process. So there's a lot of printing and a lot of layers. And you have to be really careful not to like pop the bubbles with the brayer because I have definitely been doing that. It's working though. It's giving me like a really neat look. I think I'm kind of happy with how it's turning out. It's always fun to just experiment and see what will happen. Like I've never done a background quite like this before. So even though I can, I can like make some guesses as to what I'm going to end up with, I really didn't have like a clear picture in my head of exactly what it would look like. And so it's fun to just experiment, to just give it a try and see what happens. All right. I think I have a pretty good amount of, I'm like pushing the book across screen. I think I have a pretty good amount of blue. I'm going to go in and I'm going to do a little bit of white over the top of this, just to see what will happen. We just said that, right? Just to see what will happen. I kind of put probably too much white paint on my page. Every time you do a print like this, it's a little bit different because the bubbles just show up differently on the page. You get a different set of layering. Okay, so the white did not show up the way I had hoped. It did lighten the page somewhat, but I'm not getting like really clear. I'm just gonna like blob a little bit of white on here. Since the white dots from the bubble wrap didn't really show up, I'm just gonna use a little bit of the white to sort of lighten the page. Because I wanted to go for sort of a lighter blue. So I've got the bubble wrap in the background, a little bit of white to soften it. And that's going to be my background. That's what I'm going with. It's very subtle. It's very light, but I like it. Now, I do have a ton of paint still on my book palette. So I'm going to just grab an empty page. I'm just going to grab an empty page and like brayer some of this paint down. Just because I don't want to waste it. Like I don't want to waste all of this paint. Although I guess I'm not getting as much paint off here as I thought I was. And put that up. And then stop shaking my whole thing in here. Dude, Steve. Okay. So now I have some great like background texture and a little bit of color on one of the pages in this journal. Saves me from starting with a white page, uses up some of the paint that I have. Overall, I'm pretty happy with that. I'm going to move this from this out of the way, bringing this back. Now I want to do blind contour drawing. And what I'm going to do, instead of using an actual flower, just because I don't happen to have any handy, I'm going to use some drawn flowers that I printed out for the workshop that I was recently teaching. So I will be right back with those. Okay, so this is, see, these are pretty good approximations of what kind of a blind contour drawing might look like, where you're sort of drawing the shape of the flower, but you're not worried too much about being super precise. The idea is that you'll choose a flower to draw, and then you'll look at the flower try and prop this up so I can see it in front of me. Okay. But I'm going to draw this. I'm going to try and draw, maybe I'll try and draw this one. I'm going to try and draw this flower. Okay. On this paper, I'm going to use a waterproof black pen, but I am not going to look at my drawing while I'm doing it. So I'm going to hold this up. This is blocking my view. So I can see this, but I can't see this. You should be able to see this from the camera looking down, but I can't see it because it's behind here. I have no idea how this is going to work out because I can't maybe I'll tape this down. I'm going to tape the page because otherwise I suspect as I move my hand around, I'm going to scoot the paper all over the place. So I'm just taping the paper down so it doesn't move. Okay, this is an experiment. We'll see. All right. Now I'm trying to draw this one up here. Tell me how I'm doing. Oh, let me figure out where I am on the page. Okay. Oh no. Oh no. I wish you had been here in real life so you could tell me that my pen wasn't working. Okay. Um, well, well, it looked like it would have been okay. I guess I just need a different pen. And we'll try that again. And I'm going to leave that in. I am not going to cut that out because I think it's pretty funny, actually, that I just drew that whole flower. Oh, that's a brush pen. I don't want that. This is a number 3. It's so little, but okay, we'll go with it. Put my tape back in place. I'm going to start over here instead. Okay. All right, here we go. Terrible is that? Oh, it's pretty terrible. All right. So this is what I was going for. Let's see, it was this one right here. And this is what I came up with. I mean, not awful. It's recognizably a flower. I'm going to keep it. I'm going to go with it. I'm going to do one more. Maybe I'll do 2 more. I like this, but I like it in this, facing this way. So I'm going to tip it up. Okay. I'm going to try another one. I'm going to try and get it down here. Okay. We've got this. I know it's quiet. I can't talk and do this at the same time. Sorry. I hope this isn't too boring to watch. I mean, it's not terrible, right? But again, it kind of looks like a flower. All right, I'm going to do one more. All right. I'm kind of losing where I have already drawn and where I haven't. Oh, that one did not turn out at all. I definitely lost where I was on that one. That's a rough one. Try and do one more. Over here, I've got some space on the corner of the page. I'm gonna try and do one more. I'm gonna try and do that same one again. Okay. I feel like I'm gonna go off the page because I knew I was starting like near the. Ugh. Yeah. Okay. That was not great. This one's not fantastic. I wonder if I can fix it a little bit. I'm just gonna fix it a little bit. I'm just gonna like make it look a little bit more like a flower. I don't have my screen up. My screen's down here, so I'm looking right at the page now, and I'm just trying to like make it look a little bit more like a flower. Okay, I didn't do a lot to it, and it's still pretty messy, but at least it's like kind of in a flower shape at this point. All right. I I I I encourage you to try blind contour drawing. Okay. So this is what I was going for. This one right here is what I was going for. That's what I ended up with. It does not look anything like it. I was way off on the proportions. This one was more successful. This one was pretty successful. And then this one, I tried to do the same one again. A little bit better. Slight. I don't know. I don't know. But I want 3 flowers on my page, so I'm gonna use these 3. That's what I'm gonna do. I did this on watercolor paper because I knew that I wanted to use these watercolors. They are my absolute favorite watercolors. They're Lumi accent colors. If you look them up online, they are so beautiful and vibrant. And I do not have clean paint water, so I don't dare go into these paints with this black paint water. So I will be right back with fresh paint water. And yes, I know that I'm not supposed to use or not supposed to leave my paintbrushes in the water. I sometimes do that. So I'm going to bring you a little bit closer while I paint these. I'm going to paint them hold on. I need to adjust the light so I don't bump my head into it. I'm going to adjust was the light. Activate is the word that I want for the paints. I am just putting a quick wash. I could spritz these with water as well if I wanted to. I'm not even paying attention to which ones I'm going to use. I'm just like dabbing a little bit of water into the pans to activate the paints. This will soften them up. And if you give them a minute and let them sit, you will really get a better result. So I'm just going to activate these for a few minutes, and I think I want, I don't know. I think I want this color here. Now I am not going to like paint every bit of this exactly perfect. Okay. I'm not worried about it being perfect, but I do want some areas to be kind of darker than others. I'm going to leave a little bit of white in some areas. And I'm not being super particular. I am going to dab a little more color in sort of towards the center and maybe in a few places than others. And then I'm going to go in with a slightly different color and I'm going to drop some in the middle. I need more contrast here in the middle. Dropping a little contrast in over here. Now, I don't have any green in this palette, so I'm going to grab, I have some Jane Davenport watercolors that are, of course, falling apart and falling all over the place. I'm going to grab a little bit of green out of this. Again, activate it first with a little bit of water and then go in and pull a little bit of this out. And I'm just dabbing in the tiniest little bit of green at the bottom. Okay. So here's what it looks like. Very rough, not carefully colored. Sorry about the shadow. I can't quite capture it there. Okay. I'm going to do another one, a little more orange. And I'm going to drop in some yellow into this one. in a few places. So the pink on this one just kind of spread and didn't do a great job. Didn't do a great job of like giving me that like different color that I was looking for. So I'm gonna maybe go in with, I just dabbed a little bit of that off and I'm just going in a little bit more with that like center color. All right, and then I'm gonna do this one over here in the same orangey color. I'm going to dab a little bit of yellow in there to just lighten that color up a little bit. I love with watercolor that you can kind of come back in and sort of dab the color off if you want to. I like that. I love watercolor. I get into kicks where I'm using it a lot and then other times where I'm not using it as much. And I haven't been using it much lately. Oh, that was a lot of green. I don't mind that the green went into the space where it went, but there was so much of it on the page, it was really never going to dry. So I'm just like pulling out some of the water and just dabbing the tiniest little bit of green down here. All right. So those are my 3 flowers that I've just dabbed in. You could see I was being very messy with my color. Some areas are light, some areas are dark. The colors are blending together. The flowers are very abstract looking flowers. They don't, they're not super precise, which is definitely my MO. I'm going to dry this with a heat gun. I'll be right back. Actually, before I dry it, I just had the idea to maybe I will use some of this green from this Jane Davenport set, and I just might paint myself a few little leaves and then just cut these out a little separately. Like maybe these could be more leafy shapes. And then I can kind of go from there. And then it'll maybe give me just some options. Okay. So I didn't like paint in that perfectly, but I just sort of painted some like leafy shapes onto it. Now I'm going to dry. I'll be right. These are dry and I'm going to cut them out. I'm going to use my little tiny fussy cutting scissors. And so I'll probably just pause it and come back for that part. So again, you don't have to watch me drying. You don't have to watch me cutting. We're going to skip out the boring parts. Okay, I am back and I have cut these out. I actually also made another one just because I wanted something, I wanted a little, right, like something, some height. I don't know what I'm trying to say. And these are the green pieces that I just cut out. And I think what I want to do is I'm kind of going to go back and sort of like sketch out. Is this the one that's not working? What? There it is. I just had the wrong angle. I'm going to kind of sketch the leaf shape out just a little bit and make it a little bit more like apparent that these are leaf shapes. Just because with these, I have like a white border all the way around, and with these leaves, I don't because of the way like they were all together and I cut them out. So I'm just trying to sort of like highlight the leaf shape with an outline on these so that they look a little bit more leaf-like. Okay, so there we go. I've got 3 flowers, this stem, and then I have a leaf. And I'm going to arrange them on the page. So this was, hold on, because I want to stick with what I was doing here. This was blind contour drawing, which was number 22. So I'm calling that one done. And then all the way back here on the was it the focal image? Yes. So number 90 on the focal image is pop up element. And I think originally what I meant was for a piece to like pop out of the page. But what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to use some foam dots to hold these up on the page so that they are kind of layered on the page. I have to figure out like in what order I sort of want them. Kind of doing a little bit of arranging. Do I want this over here? I think I want that on that side. Did I lose one of my? There they are. And I'm gonna maybe layer these in the back a little bit. So these are kind of floating. Maybe that one can float there. Maybe this one can go here. And this one can go over here. Okay. All right. So that's sort of my arrangement-ish. The leaf shapes, I'm going to lay down directly onto the paint. Some dried glue here I need to move. Okay. All right, leaf shapes on the background. Those are going directly down on the paper. I'm not going to pop those up at all. I'm going to let them sort of sit back on the page. I'm using kind of a wet glue instead of glue stick because this watercolor paper is pretty heavy. I'm not spending a whole lot of time fussing about the placement because I think with a project like this, it's kind of, you just want it to sort of be a little haphazard. Okay, so for this one, I'm just putting glue on the bottom half because I want it to sit behind these, but then I'm going to pop the top of it up off of the page with one of these little foam dots. So you just have to peel the sticker paper off of the top and the back, and then stick it on, and then stick it to your page. And so what I have now is, well, I just lost the other ones. This part is glued directly down on the page, but this end kind of sits up a little bit. And when I have them all glued down, I'll kind of tilt the page and you can see sort of what I mean there. So for this one, this is a pretty big flower. I'm going to use a few of these little dots along the top edge of the flower. Kind of in the middle. All right, so here's the top of the flower, has all these little things. I'm going to just peel the sticker paper off. Oops, the whole thing peeled off there. That's not what I was trying to do. This is, I have to say, the little fiddly bits, like the fussy cutting and the peeling the sticker paper, and that is kind of the part of art journaling that sometimes makes me the craziest. Because as you may have noticed, I'm very impatient. Now I am going to use some glue, some wet glue on the bottom, because again, I want the bottom part to kind of be stuck solid on my paper, but I want the top to pop up away from the page. So we have it sort of popping away from the page a little bit. This one, I'm going to do the same thing, a little glue. Oh, I should have done these first. Boop. I'm going to do 3 on this one. It's a smaller flower, so I don't think it needs as much. And I do realize that this is going to create some challenges in my journal because the bulkier it gets, like the harder it's going to be to get it to sort of like close. See, I can't do and talk at the same time. So this is a problem for a person who makes art on YouTube. Definitely a skill set I need to build if I'm going to continue to do this. I got to be able to talk and work at the same time. Because I really dislike voiceovers. I got to tell you guys, I hate that process. Um, I feel like when it comes to editing and voiceovering, then I become more of like I'm more of a videographer, I guess is the word there, videographer, than I am an art journaler. And I really want to be an art journaler and only incidentally a videographer. So I'm just not going to spend a ton of time editing. And if that means that I have fewer followers or don't get as much growth, so be it. I'm definitely not in this for the growth. I mean, I would love to grow. And I get excited when I feel like people are watching my videos, but that's not my primary goal here. Oh, my primary goal is to make art and share it with people. So, yeah, here we go. All right, here's what I have on my page, and it's all kind of floating, and I think I'm okay with that. I don't know that I really need, I don't know that I really need it to be anchored anywhere. I'm just not really feeling that right now. Maybe I could go in and do some like scribbly lines. I have the gelatos. Oh, where's the one color? This is the color that I'm using in my Cascade journal. I feel like this is going to be a good fit. Like, yeah, maybe I'll just do some like scribbly. Here. Oh, I'm getting it on the edge. I don't mean to do that. I'm just doing a little scribbly like. All right. I think that looks good, right? It kind of like grounds it into sort of a bouquet or a bush or a something. So you've got some stems and some stuff. And you can kind of smudge this around a little bit too, so it's not so. I think that works. All right, I'm pretty happy with it. Now, for a focal image, and also I need to do some layering and mixed media. That was one of the other things that I need to do. And I wanted to do number 47. Um, on this one, I thought it would be so fun to have a few little pressed flowers on the page. So luckily, I actually do. Oh, whoops, wrong pen. Luckily, I do have some pressed flowers. These are very many years old, actually, probably 4 or 5 years old. I stuck these in a book and then kind of forgot about them. Until fairly recently. So let me get back up here so I can open this book without hitting the page. And this is an old book that had some damage. It had it's got some mold. There was some water damage obviously. And so what I did was I just went through and I just pressed some stuff in between the pages. It's very random. I don't even know what is where. I'm just kind of flipping through the book to see. I know I have more than just those leaves. Oh, here, look. Here are some flowers. These are blue. These look like hydrangea flowers, maybe. Um, and I think these are going to blend in too much with my background. So I don't think I want to use those for this project. This might be pretty, whatever this is. A little flattened little something. I have a couple of these. Maybe I'll grab a couple of these. Okay. Let's see what else I have in here. Oh, these would be so pretty on it, but different spread. This is like autumn colors. I definitely need to try more of those. I think this is too big for my page. All right. Oh, here's one. No, I don't like the shape of those so much. And they're not I need something with some color. I don't know if I have anything really bright or vibrant. Oh. These, but they're a weird shape. They're not going to read like flowers on the page, I don't think. Okay, let me kind of, I didn't do the back part of the book. I just kind of started halfway. Ooh, look at the leaves. I could have done this instead of using the leaves that I kind of, like the stem that I drew. I could have used those instead. This might be interesting. Maybe I'll do a couple of these. Okay. I'm gonna grab a couple of those and I might just call it. Those are more of the other. Oh no, this is so pretty. Look at these. Can you see that? It's so pretty. But again, I feel like I already have that stem. These are tiny, tiny little ones. I'm going to be more thoughtful this year when I pick some. I'm going to pick some more flowers to try. Okay, I'm back to where I started. All right, I have a few options. I'm going to just add a couple of things. Me? Making a mess. Okay, let's see. Like, do I like that? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I actually like the pressed flowers after all. I feel like there's such a muted color palette compared to these really bright colors. I mean, maybe. Oh, something just fell over behind me. Something I didn't put up very neatly. Um, I don't know. I'm not sure about these guys. I just am not sure. What do you think? Do we like the juxtaposition there of the really bright with like the natural? It does have some contrast. I will say that. There's definitely some contrast involved. So that's I mean, I don't like this one. And now I can't pick it up. Okay, I don't like that one on the page, but I think I might go with this. And it just gives a little bit of contrast, just a little bit of like the flowers that are farther away are a little darker. I'm just dabbing a little bit of glue right where these already are. I'm not going to move them much. Just dabbing some glue down. Maybe not. Worked better in theory than in real life. Okay. All right. I'm going to do it. I've got pressed flowers on the page. It counts. It doesn't have to be perfect. I do like the contrast a little bit. It's definitely interesting. So, for my title, for my for my like caption, for my word, I want to do a word in watercolor. I chose number 74 on my list, which is brushed letter brushed calligraphy focal word. That's what it is. Number 74 is the prompt if you're following along. And I am gonna do that on here. I have a little bit of this watercolor paper left, and I'm gonna just use my brush and my watercolors that I have right here. I'll bring you down a little bit closer so you can see what I'm doing as I'm doing it. And I think I'm just gonna go with Bloom because that seems like a nice sentiment. I'm gonna spritz my watercolors this time because I feel like I'm running out of time. This video is getting very long, so I'm gonna um, try and speed things up a little bit. I'm gonna go from one color to another. Bloom. Maybe I'll leave out this middle orange. No, maybe I'll leave out this orange. Okay. And if I don't love it, I can just do something different. But I think this will be fine. This yellow is a little hard to see. When I connect it to the pink, it's going to pull some pink in. All right. And then maybe I'll use this orange next. So for me, I find that I can do the brush letters better by themselves, and then I kind of pull them together to connect them in order to get the colors to sort of run together a little bit. But that doesn't always work. Too much water there. I'm trying to kind of dry it out a little bit. All right, and then let's end with this dark. All right, so that I don't love the purple. I mean I don't love how this coloring is in the. It looks kind of spotty in here, so I'm just going to try and like soften that color up a little bit. Okay, I think that's a little bit better. There we've got Bloom, and it sort of flows from one color to the next. I'll be right back with this dry and cut out, and I'll see you in a minute. Okay, dried and cut out with just a little bit of white border. I was thinking, like, I kind of left some blank space, but I actually feel like I like it down here better, like part of the garden. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. That's where I'm gonna put it. And I think I might pop it up on these uh, foam dots. Just because, why not? Now, I don't want this to like disappear. Like I don't want it to come loose and fall apart, like fall off the page. I can't words today, guys. The words are not wording. So I'm using a lot of these. This is a lot of like foam dots for this tiny little piece, but the adhesive, I just don't trust like one or two. I want to hedge my bet a little bit here, and in hopes that if I have several of these, then maybe at least a couple of them will hold on, and I won't lose my word over time. You know, like 2 years from now or 5 years from now, whatever. I don't open up the journal and notice that the word is missing because the dots gave out. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Why is it so complicated? Okay. Ta. Nope. Nope. Okay. Maybe they're sticking to my fingers. All right. I'm putting it down here at the bottom, overlapping just the littlest bit. I think I still need a page border. I don't know what it is with me and a page border, but I just feel like it's absolutely necessary. I am going to try some white out because I think white is going to give me like a nice subtle border, enough of a border that we can see it, maybe, hopefully, perhaps, if I can get my white out to work. There we go. So it's not like overpowering like it would be if it was a black Stabilo or marker, but just something to kind of hold the page together. A little messy doodly border here. Okay. All right. I definitely don't hate it. The border is not perfect, but you know, it's okay. It's okay. At least I have a border. I'm pretty happy with it. Maybe I think that I like the way the bottom turned out. It's a lot like thinner, and this is like a lot thicker. So I don't love that, but it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's totally fine, guys. All right, here's my page, Bloom. This is days 41 through 45. I'm getting closer to being caught up. I think we're in the 50s right now officially. So I'm not like super far behind. I don't know. I don't know if I'll ever actually get caught up, but I'm pretty happy with my progress. I'm doing about one a week or so. So I'm falling, steadily behind as I go, but for the most part. Uh, all right. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope this is one of my favorite pieces, actually. I really, really love these colors. I love this blind contouring technique. Um, I love it. I'm pretty happy with it. Thanks for being here, folks. Have a great day. Like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video.